Hello ladies and gentlemen, today I'm going to show you how to run a C++ program in Visual Studio 2019 the easiest way. Okay, so first you have to go to your Visual Studio community, and that's the one you need to download. And especially if you want to download Visual Studio community, you can go to your browser, Visual Studio community. That's the free version you have over there for Microsoft. So click on it. So if you say download here, then it's gonna send you to Visual Studio community here, and you can download it. Okay, so I don't want to download it because I already downloaded it. Okay, so I'm just gonna cancel it and backtrack. Okay, so I don't need it. So you need the Visual Studio community. It's the free version, and you can install it, you can download it here. Okay, so because I already have it, so let me see, where is mine is here. Okay, you click on it, then all you need to do, you go to create new project. Okay, so you want to create a new project, you click on it, and then you're looking for empty template. You can look for empty project here. So this one is the one you need. Okay, empty project C++. So you click on it, and then you click next, and then you can type the name of your project. So because all of your code will be in this project. Okay, so let's say I can put here, for instance, unit 1 first. Okay, so and if you look at here, this is the location of, if you're looking for the C++ source code. So you need, this one here is very important. Most of your code will be in unit 1, repo, source, and tsor. So this is mine, so you can take yours. Okay, so and then I put create, so it's going to create it. Then I have this nice Visual Studio C++ here. So the Visual Studio starts here. So if you look at on the right hand side, Solution Explorer. Okay, this is where you will need to go here, especially if you look at source code here. You right click, and then you click add, and then you go to new item. So when you go to new item, so that's where you put the name of your file. So if it's homework, homework 1 C, PP means C++. So basically this one is gonna be inside here, unit 1. It doesn't matter. Okay, depending, you can change this one here if you want, but it doesn't really matter. Okay, so your code is going to be in this location. This means that this file is going to be in this location. Okay, so now if you run in C, then it's going to be C, but because we run in C++, so you really don't need to change it. So that's usually the difference when you're using C and C++. C, then you have to remove this, then you will have a C program, but we're doing C++, then we're doing CPP. Okay, and then you click add, and this one give you the empty, and you can start writing your code here. Okay, so I have an example of a code we can write. For instance, if we take this one here, so this one here just saying, if you look at here, include input output stream. This is the header. You really need it because when you do this, you are able to use cout, which is basically output hello world, or you can use the same thing here, cout, because I have two. Okay, you see when you over it, it's a standard OS stream, standard cout. Okay, so it means that it's using the namespace standard, and this is a standard library. When you do this one here, automatically you don't have to write your standard here. Okay, we're gonna see, we can do a couple of demonstrations here. So that's your code, and what this thing means is the first line here is your header file library that let you work with input and output object like cout here. Okay, the header file adds functionality to C++ program. So this, it adds a lot of functionality. Okay, because if you don't have this, then you won't be able to use this guy here. That's what this thing is saying. Okay, and then this line here, what it's doing, it means that we can use name for object and variable from the standard library. Okay, so it means that we can use this one and this one from the standard library. That's what this means. Okay, so now you don't really need to write this one here. If you don't write this one, you have to write standard here. We will see it later. Okay, and then this code here, the main is your main function. Okay, now if you don't understand those two guys, don't worry about it. Okay, just assume that you need these two guys in your code. Okay, but if you don't understand, don't worry about it. They always appear in the program. Okay, I mean, you can ignore the blank line here. Okay, C or C++ doesn't really care about the blank lines here. Okay, and another thing is this one int. So this one is the int here is the return type of your return. So when you compile this one here, it should give you 0. Okay, if it gives 0, it means that it's working very well, and that's the return type here. Okay, so, and this is a function. Main is a function, is the main function, and your code is always in brackets here. You should never forget. And then it's always end with semicolon here. You see, this is just a comment. Okay, so this is a quick explanation of this code here, and every C++ program always ends with semicolon, and most of the major programming language out there, C, Java, and C#, they always end with semicolons here. Okay, so what we're gonna do is to build your project. You build it. So what's gonna happen, it's building it, and you can see here, build started project unit configuration debug, build 1 succeeded, 0 failed, 0 up to date. So it means that everything's work fine. Okay, and now you can run it by press Ctrl plus F5, or you can do this one here, and this one should give you the output here. Okay, hello world, I'm learning C++. Okay, so if you want to run it, is Control F5, or Control F5 here is basically this one here. You can click this one, or press Control F5, and this one will basically give you the output you're looking for. Okay, So that's basically how you run a program in C++. Okay, so and yeah, so another things here, I told you guys that you really don't need to write this one here. Okay, so if you don't write this one here, you can pretty much remove it if you write comment. Okay, so when you do this, you comment out. It means that, you know, the program is not going to care about this, but you will need, because you will need to write standard and those two guys here for the code to run, because if you don't do that, it's not going to run. I'm going to show you. For instance, if you skip this guy here, then it's going to be a problem, because it's not going to be able, and you can see that there is already some problems here. Okay, and you see, because you comment out this, it doesn't know what this guy is, so it says this guy is undefined because it doesn't know where it's come from. So to do this, you have to use standard here, std. Okay, this is if you don't want to use this guy here. Okay, and then if you build your solution, be fine, and then you can pretty much run the things here. You can also run things here. Okay, so you have, you see, is working. So that's basically how you can run your C++ program. Now if you are looking for this file, then you have, I think that you have to go to your C program. Let me see. You have to go to your C here, or this C current history, and then I want to see if I remember. So, and it was unit 1 here, and if you click here, you see that's where your C++ program is, and that's basically this link, you see. So that's where your C program is if you try to locate your program on your hard drive. So that's why I told you this location is very important. Okay, so this one's here, so you pretty much need it, and this is your solution. You can always right click and then open with Visual Studio 2019. It will take you straight up to here. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, that's the simple way to run a C++ program in Visual Studio 2019. And like I told you, I prefer using this one here. When you use this one, you don't have to write every time that standard, so you can pretty much yeah, so most of the program, those two guys will be there. Okay, so automatically you don't have to write standard here because you already included here. So that's what this means. And then this one just means that, well, output this part here. Okay, so that's basically how you can run a program in Visual Studio Visual Studio 2019, and you can use your Control F5 and it will give you, hello world, I'm learning C++. Okay, so thank you very much and see you.